Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So today I'd like to share with you on how to use the 6 core elements to know what is the purpose of the training. So, as we understand, when we practice sets of form, like our 小龍頭尋橋標誌, that is for developing the 6 core element, okay, which is the 3 flows and the strength and momentum and so forth. Okay, that's in the sets to develop that. And in terms of Qi Sao, since there are 2 types of Qi Sao, the older version, which is using the circular, and the newer version is in this center line practice. We know both of them are actually for testing and refining the strength use or the force flow handling. Okay, so this one is more limited to a linear type of the force handling, and this one is more variety of change of the force handling. Sure, you can test some techniques here. However, the major, it is about testing and refining the force handling, okay, or the strength handling. That's what it is, okay, the major purpose of it. And then you come with the wooden dummy. That is to test and refine momentum. So we can test, refine momentum here. Okay. Now, however, there's the issue here. This is not dynamic momentum. This is just testing and refining our own momentum, because this thing is not moving. The wooden dummy is not moving. Not to mention, because of this frame, it causes issue, limitation in this wooden dummy practice. Usually, generally, this wooden dummy this day become a long range linear type or linear momentum type of momentum testing and refining. Well, when you get into the closed body, angular momentum, where you might have to spin, okay, spinning, or you might have to have the techniques in this way. This frame actually blocking this wooden dummy. So ideally, it has to be stick on the ground instead of this frame, because the frame limited for the momentum and testing and the refinement. Okay, and of course footwork come into play and so forth, and there's the momentum testing. It's nothing mysterious and nothing so magical. Okay, now all of this are actually not equivalent to the dynamic momentum handling. Okay, like for example, the Qi Sao, we can do all the Qi Sao, but it's still not a dynamic momentum handling. Same thing with this wooden dummy. It's not. It is a momentum testing and refinement on how we do, and we can do a whole bunch of experiment with this. So look at this as a laboratory of the momentum, and the Qi Sao is the laboratory of the strength handling. Okay, the real dynamic momentum needs to be trained or developed or refined in sparring or above. Okay, without that, it cannot be done, because you require both party of moving. Okay, which is meaning momentum above momentum. Okay, it's a compound of momentum. That's why it's a dynamic momentum. You have using one momentum to make another momentum. An example, really simple, brief things like this. We can see a lot of martial art demonstrations or applications when somebody kick a low kick, then they go this way, jump sideways, hook it, and then jump inside to do the strike. Is that dynamic? No, that's not dynamic. That is a demo, okay? In the real life, if you hook that, you jump here and hook it, and then you jump back, it's going to change in the real life, okay? So in the dynamic handling, a general example, I won't say this is the best example, a general example is if a lower front kick come, instead of jump, hook, and then come back, which is actually wasting the momentum, because you go stop, start and stop, okay? You just go start and stop, and then start and stop, okay? It's like one momentum versus one momentum. Usually what people do in dynamic momentum is if the kicks come, lower kick, instead of block it, just slide in. This punch coming with it, this elbow or hook, depend on the range, and then come with this. So it's just 1, 2, 3. Momentum never stop. So that's what I mean by dynamic momentum. It's momentum compound on top of momentum. It's not this and then go this. Okay? You see a lot of them, they go and do this. Okay? Well, in the real life, people get in, crush in. So if you do this, it is very questionable that people really have experience in the dynamic handling or the handling of the sparring. Okay, so if you say, well, I want to train from here, well, this is nice, but this is stay there forever, up to me. As for how to changes and the footwork, it is a different story. Without this kind of training, there is no way one can, from the sets, from the chi sao, from the wooden dummy, to get the experience of dynamic handling. Often, the first crush of momentum, one cannot handle it, cannot sustain it, and thus one shadow falling apart. This first contact, because one doesn't know how to handle that, the body disintegrates. So that is the dynamic handling I'm talking about. So this is all in the 613.3, okay? And so I hope that I present here the 613.3 that from the sets, the chi sao, the dummy, and the sparring or above, okay, all have its purpose. No way one can just do the chi sao or push hand and then expect be able to handle the dynamic momentum handling. It just doesn't make sense in practical type of thinking. Also the same with practice the wooden dummy. Just practice that, you say be able to handle the dynamic momentum handling. No, it cannot be done. Okay. However, this is a good tool to test and to check or refine one's single shot momentum and so forth. Same with the chi sao. Okay, so this is to share with you today, and that's why I am presenting that the 613.3 is actually a basic education platform. Okay. And we can categorize and in detail, very specific, what doing what develop what, instead of thinking, oh yeah, if I do chi sao I can do everything. You can. Okay. And is it chi sao useful? Yes, for its purpose, but not for everything. Everything have its role and its contributions. So this is for you today.